Hello everyone, this is the first Inside My Mind video that I'm making for Gears of War 4. For those who are unfamiliar with the series, in this video I basically critique my gameplay so you can understand the thought process that's going through my head as I'm playing these matches. So I'll just get right into it. You'll see that I push grenades off the start of this TDM game match, and that's because I'm just comfortable with the weapon compared to the other weapons that are on the map. With this guy here, you can see that he kind of choked and I slowed down my aim in order to finish him off. When people are messing up, there's no need for you to go really hard with your aim or with the speed of your aim. You can slow things down to make sure that you pick up the kill. So despite me thinking that I'm good with the nades, I put them to use, and I have to critique myself here by just saying that they were lazy grenades. I threw them thinking people would be in that general area, but I actually didn't know, and as a result you can see that those 2 grenades went to a waste. Seeing these people, I back off, but once again, I'm going to have to critique myself here. I'm holding left hand here, and I'm much more exposed. I'm lucky enough to pick up 2 kills and then die, but I think that that was a poor choice on my part. I should have either lefty hard aimed, which you can do by L triggering on cover and then pulling off of it, and that would have concealed me more, or I should have just backed off completely. It was a bad move to stay on that cover because I'm exposed and it's harder for me to see things. So Gears of War 4 has a 30-second respawn after use timer, I believe, for the weapons. So I get nades again. The reason I mention that is because it's fairly fast. If you have these weapons and you're using them, then make sure you're checking back after in, say, 30 seconds to pick them up, or refrain from using them as a strategic option if you don't want the other team to get them. Here I killed a guy who had the drop shot, and I intended to find it so I could use it, but after a few seconds I wasn't able to, and knowing that there was a sniper looking at me, I decided it was too dangerous to keep looking, and I actually pushed the sniper here. In my opinion, the sniper is not that effective in this game. It's hard to use, to say the least, and I'm able to just push him because I'm confident in my ability to shotgun, and when he tried to yank me, once again I slowed things down and I lined up my shot to make sure that I hit it. Now I'm pushing through the middle. Here I'm using the Lancer because this guy is not focused on me, so that was a good move. I pull out my shotgun when he gets a little close. Here's another area I'm going to have to critique myself in. Generally speaking, I like to minimize the amount of danger I can be in, and here I didn't do an effective job because I wasn't checking my surroundings. You can see that that player just missed me. If he was any better, he would have got the shot and I would have been dead. So as a note, you should be aware of your surroundings a lot better than I was, especially in relation to their spawn side. I'm able to pick up the kill and revive my teammate, and I go for the sniper. For those of you who know me, I don't consider myself to be a very good sniper in the game. I quickly look over to the drop shot because that would make for an easy headshot if someone picked it up. But upon seeing no one there, I'm going to rotate around the map. So I think this was a really good move on my part, because if you're just sitting there with the long shot not doing much by the long shot area, you're not helping your team. I always say to myself, if you're inactive, you are not contributing to your team. So I actually take sniper and I rotate around to try to support my team. I'm not able to get this first shot off, but it's honestly not a big deal. My teammate was able to pick it off. Miraculously, I am able to pull off a headshot here. I guess it was a good shot. I was going more for a body shot. There's no reason that you shouldn't go for body shots. You can see here I'm about to down a player just by body shotting, and that's more than enough help for my teammate. Now, as another critique that you're going to see, I am eventually going to die, and that's because of a lack of awareness. When you are caught up sniping, then you might not focus on your surroundings, and in this case, someone's about to creep up on me, and there's no one to blame but myself for that. If you rewind, you can see that Minja sent me a message, and I wanted to blame him for the death, but the truth is I just was not aware of my surroundings. Now we're going into the second round, and the first round was actually pretty close, but despite that, I'm pretty confident now in my ability to take these guys one-on-one based on how my performance the first round went. I actually choose to rush torque bow instead of grenades because I think that I'm also pretty effective with the torque bow, and I find it more valuable than a set of grenades. This 1v1 I handled very nicely. I wall bounced to the left wall on the outside, which didn't allow that player to get in close enough for a one-shot, and I was able to pick him off. As soon as I grabbed torques, I start applying pressure on the boom shot and grenade area, and this was another good move because it makes it more challenging for the other team to secure, and it makes it easier for my team to fight for it. I don't think it worked out in this particular match, but if given the chance, I would have done the same thing. I'm forced to pull out the shotgun when this player rushes. I should have counted a little better here. I start to get outnumbered, and instead of bailing with the torque bow, I stay and pick a fight that I just can't win, and I die. I didn't have torque bow out, so that will at the very least buy us some time. I run for grenades because I know that there's a ton of swarm at the torque bow area, and that's just not a fight that I can win. I'm going to have to critique myself here. You can see through x-ray vision there's a planted grenade. I just assumed that it was ours. I could have easily died if it wasn't, and that's something to be aware of. For the players who think that this is a Nasher only game, this is a good illustration of the Lancer in effect. You just have to know when to use it, and this kill was an easy kill, perfectly safe for me using the Lancer. I saw this guy pick up the boom shot and I approached him with a meat shield, which was a mistake. I thought that the meat shield might be able to absorb it, but I should have known better. I paid the price, and now you can see that our team is actually quite low on respawns. Another problem you might notice here is that my whole team is basically backed up in spawn, and you don't want to do this because you lose map control and you lose power weapons and you become very easy targets. As much as I want to push out, I decide to support my teammates, and I just want everyone to note here, 3 of my teammates are on this guy with their shotguns. I'm the one who got a kill with a Lancer, and that's just illustrative of me to it's testimony that the Lancer is useful and you should use it. Keeping my previous mistake in mind, I saw this grenade planted and I quickly rolled backwards to detonate it, and that was a very good move on my part. I'm also thinking in my head that these guys we just killed are probably coming at a spawn and they're probably going to head this way, and in anticipation of that, I hit an active reload and I pick up an easy kill. I don't feel terrible about that kill either. That guy was running in a straight line, and that might be the most efficient way to get to places, but it definitely isn't the safest, and he paid the price for it. My teammate picked up boom shot, and it's starting to look like we're getting decent map control, so there's no reason for me to push these guys, so I'm just going to wait on grenades, see if they pop up, and that will give me more of an advantage when I push with them. While I wait, I have my Lancer out and I try to put shots on the enemy team as much as I can. I'm not able to do a super good job of that. Once again, you can see how effective the Lancer is here. I'm just keeping a very safe distance and putting on a lot of shots. I'm able to get a kill, and I'm about to get hit, and I roll back and rev the chainsaw. That was actually good and bad. Bad awareness by my part, but the reaction was very good. A lot of people have the tendency that if they get shot really bad, they just try to book it and run away. Normally, if a player hits you that hard, there's a good chance they're going to follow up and kill you if you just run, and obviously the Lancer isn't the ideal weapon to have out when that happens, but in my case, I just got real close and pulled out a chainsaw on him, which he was not expecting. I got a pretty simple kill there on a bot. Just as a word for those who are not too familiar with the game, when the bots are on the move, they're actually pretty lethal because of the accuracy they have, but when they are in cover, they're relatively useless, I would say, and they're more easy to approach and get an easy kill. So now we're getting into the final kills here. They have a torque bow, and I have grenades. I think these were some good grenades because it mapped the area that the torquer was in, and I was actually able to pick up a kill from that grenade. There's one more player, and it's essentially just a hunt now. You saw I tried to pick up the torque bow, but I accidentally yanked nobody over cover. It's a little bit embarrassing. With this final guy, I think a lot of people will have the tendency to just chase them down themselves and get into a one-on-one fight. Honestly, it's much better to just mark them and put in shots, as you see that I'm doing right here, and that I might not have gotten the kill, but I made it very easy for my teammate to pick up the final kill. That will actually conclude the episode. I hope you're excited as I am to see this series back, and I will see you in the next video.